This is Jeff, and this is another episode of Deskies. Today I'm going to be talking about the subject of ghost. Do I believe in ghosts? Which is, yeah, I do. But I'm also skeptical. Ghosts is a subject I find very fascinating. I've always liked different programs about ghosts. Unsolved mysteries, there's specials on ghosts, ghost hunters. Even some of the ones that I've seen that are kind of a little more schlocky. Not that ghost hunters can't be a little bit. Although I shouldn't say that because my friend's obsessed with that show. And I actually very much enjoy that show. Now, I don't necessarily know that I'm torn on that show. I'll get into that maybe on another episode or later on in this episode. But ghost is a subject I very much find fascinating. I watch many YouTube videos, ghost footage, or what could be ghost footage. Now, it's possible there's another explanation for it. What that is, I don't know. But that's the thing. I mean, you don't know what ghosts are. We don't know what other phenomenons there are. Sorry. Again, I have a cold. Sorry about that. But what phenomenons are causing some of these disturbances in some of these videos, if they're not a hoax, it's unknown. I kind of find the subject fascinating because I'm not a real religious person. And I don't necessarily, on a personal level, I do believe in God and I do believe in heaven. But at the same time, I'm skeptical too. I can't help it. It's just the kind of person I am. And I have faith. Don't get me wrong. I don't need the comments box blown up. But if you want to, you can. But I have faith. But it's hard to argue with something you can't prove. So it's just that. It's just faith, It's something stupid you believe in, basically. And I believe in it. So I do believe there's some kind of afterlife. It may not be God, it may not be heaven, you may not have a soul per se. I don't know. Now, are these ghosts souls? Are they maybe something from another dimension? Are they aliens or some other weird possibly in the future explained phenomenon? I don't have an answer. Of course I don't. I find it interesting. I find the concept of ghosts interesting. I always found it kind of interesting that there was a difference between intelligent hauntings and residual hauntings. And I always kind of felt that, if there was an afterlife, time would not necessarily be linear. In other words, you could theoretically die after a loved one, but meet the loved one in heaven. You might be there before they are. Because we perceive time linearly here on Earth, but I don't necessarily know if that works if there's an afterlife. Of course, because it's unknown, who knows, but I like to think it's kind of fun. And there's not necessarily any kind of timeline there, which would explain why a day could seem like, it could be like a million years in heaven. So, who knows? The point being is, it's interesting if you do think of it as sort of non-linear, that an intelligent haunting could theoretically be your own ghost. And I've always found that interesting, that perhaps maybe the reason there are intelligent hauntings is because you're trying to tell yourself something, or warn you, perhaps. And of course, you probably can't change the outcome because that's just how things are, but it's also interesting because people supposedly have out-of-body experiences, which is similar to what I'm talking about. So, is that, again, I don't even know if there are souls. And I'm not knocking, I'm not saying there aren't. I believe there are, but that's what's so interesting about the subject of ghosts. It's something you can't prove. There are videos allegedly that could be ghosts, but it could be something else. And you can't even prove that they're not hoaxes, so it's just a fascinating subject. you have to take a lot of leaps of faith, and a lot of them may end up being bullshit. But, you know, I don't watch ghost videos, for instance, and assume they're real. And I think that's the best way to do it. If you want to do it to maybe get a little scared, or if you want to do it just to kind of study it, I'd assume they're all fake. Now, I do think there's some that are have a little more probability of being true, but that's another time, another story. And I'm going to wrap up this episode of Deskies, because I know I've rambled on a little bit about ghosts, so... And I'll be doing it in the future, probably, so... Take care. Thank you. Peace out.